Oh good, the phrenology had made it in one piece. Welcome back to part 2 of our episode, and we will now continue with our interview with Morning Glory and Oberon Zell.
My name is Morning Glory Zell, and I'm a priestess of the Church of All Worlds. I've been ordained for nearly 30 years. I am a witch and proud of it. And I am a goddess historian, and the great passion of my life has been learning all that I can about goddesses, both ancient and modern, and bringing the knowledge and the lore and the magic of the goddess back into this world in this time and age. And I think that the future is what we have to work towards always. While we keep our roots in the past, the future is what we have to work for.
I'm Oberon Zell, Oberon Zell Ravenheart, if you take the full clan name, and I'm a wizard, and I'm a priest of the Church of All Worlds, a priest of Gaia, Mother Earth, and lots of other interesting things in a long and colorful career. And more than anything else, I'm the partner and husband and life mate of Morning Glory, which is the most special thing in the world to me. And my work is, well, comparable to hers in that sense. We're so total partners in everything. It's always funny what one of us says, the other one could virtually say too. But my passion is also in restoring the continuity of the ancient ways and the ancient lore and the ancient mysteries and all these things that the world has been bereft of through millennia of dominions, of hostile agencies, And so much has been lost, but it's possible to rediscover it. I feel that searching and reconstructing the ancient ways is like being a paleontologist, that if you're really good at what you're doing and you really understand it, you can find a few bones and you can put them together to figure out, okay, this makes a foot, and the foot looks like this, and this foot has claws. Well, this means it's got to be a carnivore, and you can keep on going until you can reconstruct the entire animal from a few bones. And we are reconstructing our heritage from the bones that are folklore, songs, superstitions, mysteries, myths, legends, symbols. But all these are the keys and the elements. These are like the bones of the prehistoric dragons, that we are recreating the mysteries with. And that's our work. We're bringing it back. And we're trying to create a world where the gods may once again participate in the affairs of humans and restoring that partnership. We're working to restore the unity of all of humanity and of all life, which has been greatly severed. And that's our work, bringing it all back together.
Lady Morning Glory, you were talking about being a goddess historian, and I was wondering if you'd like to say a few things about mythic images and how these two things interact in your life.
Good story.
Yes, thereby hangs a tale. My passion for being a goddess historian goes back from the time I was probably about 14, I would say, 13 or 14. And I got introduced to the Greek myths by Edith Hamilton, and I was just fascinated by it. And so I started being really interested in this whole idea of goddesses. And from there on, it just has kind of grown as time has changed, and I have changed, and I started collecting images of goddesses from all over the world and throughout history, and I started giving lectures and teaching about it, and traveling to different pagan conventions and women's gatherings and bookstores and all that kind of thing, and doing teaching at college campuses and whatnot. And from that experience, my goddess collection kept getting bigger and bigger, and I got them from they weren't like archaeological, one of a kinds. I don't do that. Those go to a museum. I don't want them, But reproductions of all kinds. I get them from everywhere, from really, really, really fine quality museum replicas to flea markets, And my collection got around 50 or 60 pieces, and I was traveling and teaching. And then I was also working full time at the time in a hospital laboratory and trying to support the family while Oberon was getting the green egg up and running again. And my weekends, I would go out and fly to Georgia or fly to New Jersey or wherever to teach about the goddess. And always people would say to me, "Oh, this is such a wonderful statue. Where can I get one?" And it's like, I got it at a flea market, or I got it, someplace. Often what would happen is if I wanted to make a particular point, but there weren't any available figures, Oberon would go, "Oh, I can make that." And so he'd sit down and he'd take the Sculpey and start sculpting, and he would create this beautiful, incredible piece. And it would be the perfect Venus of Willendorf, or the perfect Anatolian, Rhea, or whatever it was that I was trying to create, and he would make the piece. So people started asking, "Where can I get one?" And it's like, well, this is a one-of-a-kind piece that Oberon made. Before much longer, some friends of ours had said, "You know what? We'd like to make a business that would take these statues, and the guy said, I'll figure out a way to reproduce them, and then we can start making them, and then we'll sell them." And I said, "Great. Then, I can go around to workshops and stuff, and then I can say, here's the card, you guys can get them there." It's like, it never occurred to me really that we would do this. It was that these friends of ours would. Well, their marriage fell apart. The business fell apart. And I found myself basically working a 9 to 5, well, actually more like a 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. job on hard concrete exposed to toxic chemicals. And after 2 years of it, my health began to fail, my back began to unload, and I thought to myself, I got to get out of here, And the goddess provided. And so they came with a person who was better qualified, and they laid me off. And I went off and I took over this business and I put it all together, and I birthed Mythic Images. And so I took Oberon's beautiful statuary and turned it into marketing. And then he started working on me, teaching me to sculpt, and I started sculpting pieces of my own, and that's how Mythic Images came to be.